ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
Elmore deep, left side three is good! From 30 feet, John Elmore!
The Drive with Paul Swann.
Welcome in. It's the Friday, May 25th edition. Welcome in. Your drive starts now on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Well, as promised, today is the conclusion of the Marcelo Lajterman Memorial Scholarship Auction. A lot of great opportunities for you to bid on some fantastic items, and the auction just ended not that long ago. And Ted Wilson from the Memorial Scholarship Fund joins us in studio, and he's been smiling a lot.
Yes, I have.
Not because he's seen Solo, a Star Wars story. It's because he's smiling because of the results of this thing here.
Yeah, just a big thank you to everyone out there who bid on this, the ones that were successful. But your interest in what we're doing or what we're trying to accomplish is amazing. And I just can't thank everybody enough for taking part in this. You're awesome.
Well, here's the results. Of course, the auction will benefit the Marcelo Lajterman Memorial Scholarship, which is set up at Marshall, and there are actually two scholarships, so this is going towards funding that. And really what's happening here is just adding to the endowment to be able to further keep this thing going for years to come. So that's what the purpose of this is, just to supplement some of the things you guys do during your major fundraiser, which is the golf outing, which is coming up later on this year.
That's correct.
So we've got another auction coming up in a few months, but this is the spring auction. And here's what we were auctioning, and here's what happened. First of all, the West Virginia Power Party Package, which was a opportunity to just take a bunch of your friends, get a game day suite, have some fun at the ballpark. $161. And we want to congratulate Brandon Drake from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, for picking that up. $161. It's a $500 value, so a steal there, but still a great opportunity to take 16 folks to the Power game and really enjoy a great time out at the ballpark.
Absolutely. And Brandon, again, thank you. Appreciate it and have a great time. And in addition to that, you get that Omar Moreno baseball.
Now, this was an item that pretty popular inside the building. It goes for $110. It was the Wilson Staff Tour golf bag with Marshall logo to honor the 75 lost in the plane crash. And John Legg of Lesage, West Virginia, with the high bid of $110, will walk away with that bag. It's a beautiful bag. This isn't just an average bag. This is a tour level bag.
It is. This is, if they were making it for someone on the pro tour, I mean, this is a full-size bag. You know, you can put a change of clothes in it, your lunch, you know, maybe two sets of clubs if you needed them. But it is just an absolutely outstanding bag.
Now, the next item was a framed copy of the original letter. This is a copy of the original letter that President Richard Nixon sent to Marshall football coach Jack Lingle. This was before the Young Thundering Herds' first game in September of 1971. Now, part of this frame package included two poems written by Bob Compton, who was a member of the 1971 team. Before we get to who won this, what's the backstory there? I never asked that. He was on the team, obviously, but what's the backstory behind the poems?
It just was something that Bob felt he needed to do and that he wanted to do, and he put it together. I ran into Bob at the fountain ceremony in April when they turned the fountain back on, and we talked. He gave me the copies of everything, and so we took it, got it framed up, brought it in and put it out here, and just thrilled that it went like it did.
We valued this at $100, and it went for $354.
Outstanding.
I know your jaw dropped a little bit when you saw that.
It did. I'm thrilled.
And John Skeens from Barrington, Illinois, picks this up, $354 added to the pot to help the Memorial Scholarship Fund. And finally, this is going to be a steal no matter what the price was going to be. We had a great golf outing. I'll let you tell us about it because there's so many pieces involved with this, just to tell people how much of a steal this was.
All right, this is the vacation, the golf vacation to Myrtle Beach. We had 4 golf courses down there give us golf for a foursome, including cart. What can you say? Myrtle Beach and golf, they're synonymous. They go together. The Sands Resort gave us your first 3 nights lodging. They donated that. That's free. They are willing, and it says in their brochure that if you want to extend your stay, then you can pay for additional nights. But you have 3 nights of lodging. And Wild Wings Cafe, Walt Garnett, who has Wild Wings and is a Marshall grad, was a baseball player here. He kicked in a gift card for his restaurant. There's another card there for a Pancake House for a percentage off your bill. All in all, we got 2 meals covered, or most of it covered, lodging and 4 rounds of golf. 3 of the courses in North Myrtle Beach, and one of them is over in Loris, which is about a 20-minute drive from North Myrtle Beach. But just an outstanding opportunity to go to Myrtle Beach. And there's also on there, if in the evening you want to, there's admission to the aquarium for 2. Ripley's Believe It or Not for 2. There are a total of 6 different attractions there that have free admission for 2. So when you tack all of that on, it's a tremendous deal. And to go for what it did, thank you. I mean, I can't say any more. Thank you.
$420 was the winning bid. Jacob Harvey of Huntington will pick that up. So right now he's going to be very popular with 3 other people.
He may very well be. I hope he is. I hope he has to make some decisions about who he's going to take. And
you're going to find out who your friends are real quick.
Yeah, and Jacob, if you're listening and you want to get in touch with me, I'll try to give you some more information on this that I have. But thank you. Thank you to everybody, again, who participated in this auction. You're fantastic. You're the best. Marshall fans are the best.
Okay, I didn't do the math here because you've already got it scribbled down on your notepad. Final total?
$1,045.
That's pretty good.
That's excellent.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's excellent.
But you weren't expecting this.
No, I really was hoping that we'd get close to $1,000, and we broke it. We went over it by $45. I'm ecstatic. And now we'll start working on the one that we'll do in August, and invite everybody to come back and see what we have then.
Now the golf outing is already booked up. People are on the waiting list now for this, so you don't have to work on that other than the actual event itself.
Right. Yeah, like I say, in terms of bodies of players, if somebody drops out, we'll need some people. But we also got a waiting list going right now, which thrills me. It says something about what we're doing when you have a golf outing and you have a waiting list. And the reason we have a waiting list is we're filling up all of the carts that the course has to offer. They don't have any more carts. I'm hoping, there's rumors that they may be going to acquire a few more, and if they do, we'll fill them up. We will fill them up. And Coach Lingle is scheduled to come in from Arizona. Just if anybody wants to be a part of this, let us know. As far as playing, we'll put you on the waiting list. If you'd just like to sponsor a hole or just make a donation, $5, $10, whatever, to help these scholarships grow, we'd be thrilled to take it.
Now, are you set up to do that on your website?
There is on Marcelo23.com. There is a connection to PayPal. Yes, you can do it there.
And this is just any general donation, not necessarily the golf outing. This is anything.
Yes, any general donation. But it's Marcelo23.com.
So Wilson's joining us. The auction ended, and of course you can go. We still got the items posted. You can go for a while and go look at that stuff and see what's up at WRVC.com, and then you can go to Marcelo23.com if you'd like to find out more about the event itself, the scholarship and everything that's involved with this. So the auction's coming up in August now. I know you got something already planned for this, right?
Well, we have
You got something
every
for me.
year in August, and I'm assuming we'll have them. But the University of Tennessee has given us 4 sideline seats to a football game at a home game. And Wellman O'Shea's Bobby Gleason. Bobby Gleason has come through every year with something for us. So I'm hoping that they will be willing to join us again this year. I have no reason to believe they won't. Beyond that, we're still working on some things.
There's always a Marshall connection, right? Tennessee Marshall connection.
Right. Joe Arnone used to be the ticket manager at Marshall, is now the ticket manager at Tennessee. And Joe's great. He comes through. He's come through for us every year. And I have no reason to believe that he won't come through again this year. So if you're a Tennessee fan, keep your eyes open in August for this.
All right, this is the spring auction. The summer one's coming up in a few months. Be on the lookout for that. And
Right,
of course,
it'll be in August.
we'll also have more details if there are any openings come up in the golf outing. Are you going to do anything else in conjunction with that golf outing, or is that just basically the center of the events?
Well, I mean, we will have different things there. We'll have a silent auction there for some items we have. We'll have some things for a live auction there. One of the things we have right now is a flag from the 2017 PGA Championship signed by the winner, Justin Thomas. That will all be framed up. We'll have that there. The Royal and Ancient at St. Andrews has sent us a flag signed by Mark O'Meara. I'm not sure what year Mark won it, but there's another golf flag we've got. So if you're into golf memorabilia, that's 2 things right there that we'll have going out there. Like I say, we've got some set of clubs. There'll be a silent auction from Wilson staff, the same people that donated the golf bag to us. We have a set of irons that'll be like a silent auction. We can't do too many live auctions because everybody's tired and they want to go home.
Right.
We could sit there forever and do this stuff, but just different things like that. So it's a good time. We'll have everybody that's there, and lunch during the day, and a fun day and a fun time. And everybody that plays walks away with something. Everyone.
I'm looking at what they're going to be walking away with. I'm not going to say what that's.
Well,
it.
I mean, we have golf courses.
Right. You got some stuff.
We got some stuff. We got golf courses from 4 different states. It's 4 rounds of golf. So
Yeah.
those will be team prizes.
So,
Restaurants give us 4 gift cards, meal cards. And then there are some other businesses that give us cards. Car wash there across from the stadium at Marshall. She steps up every year and helps us.
well,
And there's just a long list.
there's a lot of things. There's value in this. Of course, everyone has already signed up, so they know there's value there.
Right.
That's
That's why people keep coming back.
Right. And, of course, I'm not going to mention what that one item is I'm looking at that you have because, well, let's be honest. You're lucky it's still there right now because it's pretty nice, and I'm not going to give it away. It's a pretty nice surprise for those who are going to be a part of the tournament as well. You haven't revealed what that piece of swag will be just yet, and we'll keep it that way.
Okay, we'll keep it that way.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
All I'm going to say it's a wearable. Well, I've already said that. It's a wearable. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. It's pretty nice. You're going to want one of these. And you can only get this by being part of the golf outing.
That's right.
Okay, I like it. Ted Wilson's our guest. You want to find out more about the Marcelo Lajterman Memorial Scholarship, Marcelo23 is the website. And, of course, we'll be back in a few months with the summer auction coming up in August, also the golf outing, and hopefully you get some more golf carts and you can have some more members be a part of that.
That would be fantastic.
Now, you've got some work to do. You got to go. You got to go see Solo, a Star Wars story.
It's sometime here in the near future.
You're seeing that.
Won't be today.
That flipped me out when you said, yeah, I'm going to go see that.
Yeah. Why?
What? Never knew that about you. Did you see the Marvel movies as well? I'm going to turn you
No,
into the.
no,
Okay,
no.
So you're not the new Woody Woodrum on this show.
Oh, no.
Okay, just checking.
No.
All right, we're going to take our break and come back, and we'll get some of your phone calls in and go over what's happening today. We've got a series, hopefully, in the NBA because Houston could be on the verge of clinching this, but they're going to have some difficulty eliminating Golden State. And, of course, Cleveland's going to be fighting for their lives, and we'll talk about that when we continue here on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Now, back to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to the May 25th edition, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We've got baseball action for you coming up tonight as the Pirates trying to get over the loss to the Reds, and they will do so at home. They're going to take on the Cardinals. We've got that for you coming up tonight. It's going to be a 6:40 airtime, and your home of Pirates baseball all season long, of course, is right here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. So that means Cavalier basketball over on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. The Cavs trying to stave elimination. They're trying to stop it. Boston leading that series 3-2. Here's the thing. Nobody has won on the road just yet. And if Cleveland holds serve, they'll force a Game 7. At that point, I think it's anybody's series because we've seen it time and time again. The Cavs have had their backs to the wall. We've seen LeBron have his back to the wall. A lot of criticism about him being tired, not having the energy. Maybe some of it's fair, but until they get knocked off, the Cavs are still in this. And we'll have that for you coming up tonight again on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. So, bad news for Houston. Chris Paul's going to miss Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors. He's got a strained right hamstring. Suffered that injury late in the victory over the Warriors last night. He's going to be reevaluated by the Rockets when the team returns to Houston. They are going to be flying probably right now. They're going to be flying to the Bay Area sometime, if not already, for Saturday's Game 6. They're going to start Eric Gordon and potentially extend the roles of Gerald Green and Luke Mbah Amonte. Houston signed point guard Aaron Jackson on the final day of the regular season to serve as a insurance reserve. Smart on their part. So, it's getting interesting. I think that Houston, if they can weather the storm in Game 6, I don't think Golden State's going out in Game 6. They're going out in Game 7. If all falls into place, they're going out in Game 7. And obviously I'm rooting for Houston. We've got the Marshall connection there. Mike D'Antoni, great story. That'd be his first run into the finals. It'd be a great story, not just for the NBA, but also for Marshall fans. Gives you something to root for. Now, locally, we're rooting for the Cavs, but as a Marshall fan, you're rooting for Houston right now. That's your team. Unless you were just a diehard Cavs fan, if you are a Marshall fan, you're rooting for Houston. Heck, if you are a fan of Mountain State guys who are from the state, it doesn't matter school, but if you're a fan of people in the state, you're rooting for Houston. Game coming up this weekend, we'll have it for you. We will also have the Cavs this weekend as well, and you keep an eye on your listings in the paper because this thing is pretty fluid right now. It could end at any moment. We could have the Cavs series end tonight. We could have Houston series end tomorrow. Then we'll get the schedule out to the paper as quick as we possibly can to see if we can get that in for you guys to follow along where the games are going to be. The one thing you do know is Pirates right here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. We got some Marshall news to get into. When we continue, we'll get you caught up on that. We'll look ahead to the Stanley Cup playoffs that begin on Memorial Day. Monday, you've got action in the Stanley Cup. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals. So that's coming up. And depending on what our broadcast schedule looks like, we'll carry that game as well. And we'll tell you more about you. It's The Drive. I'm your host, Paul Swann. This is ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Don't worry. Paul Swann has the wheel on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
You know, I'm getting set for the Memorial Day weekend by getting ready for some hockey, of course. Hockey's in the evening, and let's not forget what Memorial Day is all about. So I encourage all of you who can to remember that Memorial Day is not just a time to go out and cook out and have some hot dogs and some hamburgers. And there are several places you can go to, of course, express that understanding and, just to be proud of the people that we're honoring on Memorial Day. And, of course, don't forget loved ones as well. Ironton Memorial Day Parade's coming up. We've got the link posted on our Facebook page. All you have to do is go to Facebook and search for ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. You should be able to find us there. And, of course, we're going to have the live stream on our Facebook page, so you can be able to watch the broadcast from there. So that should be fun. The nation's oldest, longest running, and oldest Memorial Day parade. That's pretty impressive. So Memorial Day, of course, we get some sports as well, and the Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals taken to the ice on Monday. Golden Knights are right now 12-3 in the postseason. They defeated the Kings 4-0 in the first round, 4-2 against the Sharks in the second round, and they knocked Winnipeg out 4-1 in the third round. The Capitals got past Columbus in 6. They defeated the Penguins in 6, and they had to go to 7 to take out Tampa Bay Lightning, so they're 12-7. And Vegas took out Washington twice this year already in this season. Beat them 2-0 in both encounters. So I'm excited for this. We get a new team on the Stanley Cup. Somebody's never won the Stanley Cup. A team that has never hoisted it. The Capitals haven't been able to win it. They got a shot in 1998, and they couldn't get past the Red Wings. So they've been waiting for 43 years. I mean, they busted their tail. They've got themselves past all of their nemesis. Here they are. And now you've got this team that has worked hard. You've got Alex Ovechkin, who's never been this far, one of the better players in the NHL. And then you got the Golden Knights. They didn't have a team about this time last year. They were still putting it together. Here they are, plucky kids from everywhere that nobody wanted. And they've been dominant. I mean, they're an expansion team. And they were able to work this system and put together a team that could instantly contend for the Stanley Cup. Now, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on, we'll see what this franchise can do. But to win it in your first season as a team, that's monumental. And you know how they're doing it? Marc-Andre Fleury. The Penguins said, thank you, but your services will no longer be required if they pick you. We're not protecting you. Thank you for your service. We're not protecting you. And he's having a career. You haven't seen Fleury this good ever. Yeah, he's won Stanley Cups. You've not seen him this good. So in the back of a lot of Penguin fans' mind, they're like, okay, we're going to stop Ovechkin. This is our last hope. We're going to stop Ovechkin. We've got our secret weapon. He's on the Vegas Golden Knights, but he's ours. That's the thing. He's making this team easy to root for if you're a Penguins fan. Everybody else, I think, is jumping on the bandwagon a little bit. I don't get the hate for the Capitals. I don't get it. I don't have that hate for the Capitals. Not the way that a lot of people do. I don't have the hate for Ovechkin. I've always liked the guy, only because I appreciate what he does on the ice. He's physical. He's tough. He's gritty. He goes out there, plays. I mean, he's not the fancy type. He's not a pretty boy. I just like watching his game out there. But he's going to have a hard time because he's been on fire. I mean, his average of goals allowed is under 2. He's had 4 shutouts. He's definitely part of the reason why the Golden Knights are where they're at now. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. Of course, depending on our schedule, again, we're going to have that game for you depending on what we've got NHL, NBA, and MLB-wise that conflict and cross with each other. So, again, my best advice for you, those local, not listening on the podcast, and not in the area. If you're in the area, check local listings. We'll keep everyone updated on what we've got. And, of course, your best source for that outside of us on social media will be the Herald-Dispatch and their radio listings. I want to thank Rick McCann for taking good care of me, as he always does, as far as getting the word out for a lot of people who maybe aren't on social media or not necessarily able to listen all the time. So we'll get everybody updated on that. But I'm excited. So I'm looking forward to that. And, of course, everything's getting really good as far as the NBA is concerned. We might get to see Houston finish the deal. I think that's going 7, though. The Cavs could make it go 7. I don't want to say they're done because I don't want to count LeBron James out just yet, but this might be it. This might be his final appearance in Cleveland as a Cavalier. And what if it is? Do you say thank you to that guy, or do you get mad again? I say you say thank you to that guy. You say thank you to that guy because he came in and he won a championship for Cleveland. The Browns aren't winning you championships. The Indians are coming close. So I'm not gonna dump on them, but the Browns definitely aren't going to be anywhere close to a championship anytime soon. Maybe not even in my lifetime. But Cleveland, LeBron, if you're a Cleveland guy, you're a Cleveland fan, he brought you a championship. So you say thank you to that guy. Wherever he goes. If he goes to L.A., thank you, LeBron. You thank that guy for coming back and bringing you a championship. And this isn't like the old days here where if you get a superstar like a Michael Jordan, he's sticking around. He's not going everywhere. He's trying to make his one team better, and maybe you could do that back then. This isn't a situation where you've got the Lakers who pretty much stay together, the Boston Celtics who stayed together during Lakers versus Celtics. Too bad we couldn't get Shaq and Kobe to coexist. How many more championships would the Lakers have won if Shaq and Kobe could have coexisted? If they could have just occupied the same basketball court, I think you would have had a major run of championships there. And really, it took Phil Jackson coming in to really get that going. And, of course, Shaq leaves. He gets his title. Kobe gets a couple more. Both of them are NBA legends in my mind. I'm not going to call them the greatest of all time, but, boy, they were a great tandem. They were pretty good by themselves as well. And Shaq's an interesting story. I don't think he gets any grief for moving around. I think you look at what he did, and you don't see it with the same venom as Cleveland fans did years ago when LeBron took his talents elsewhere. So I'm not sure what's going to happen afterwards. But LeBron, how many more years does he have left? And does he want to finish it out in L.A.? Does he want to wrap it up there? I mean, he's an Ohio guy. You can't say he's not. He's an Ohio guy all the way, but he's got a place in L.A. He's got a California home. That could be where he's going. I like to see it. I'm a Laker fan. I would root for a LeBron James on the Lakers. It would bring some instant excitement back for Showtime. Bring it back. Bring the Lakers back. I I think the LA Lakers, when they're good, is good for the NBA. Not that what they've done on the West is not working, because you've got a lot of new players out there, but I think a good LA team, a good Lakers team, is good for the NBA because they bring a little bit of panache back with them, a little Showtime swagger if they're really good and contending again. I've always thought that hopefully a good New York basketball team would be good for the NBA. I'm never going to see that in my lifetime. 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255 to be on the program. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255 to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. So, it's coming up soon. HBO, Hard Knocks, and The Factory of Sadness is going to be featured on HBO. And according to... Get this. According to a network executive, this is Peter Nelson talking about why Cleveland's going to be great for HBO Hard Knocks. And yeah, I try to sell it too. He says it's an underdog story, and people love rooting for underdogs. Wait a minute here. Yeah, I like rooting for underdogs. The Browns are not underdogs. The Browns are miserable. There's a difference. A lovable underdog, a lovable loser, and just a pit of ineptness. That's the difference here when it comes to the Browns. A pit of ineptness. Factory of sadness. Futility at its finest. Nelson continues, this is according to the AP story, despite the Browns' 0-16 record last season and dismal decades, his words, not mine, dismal decades of futility, again, his words, not mine, for one of the league's signature franchises, NFL Films insists the Browns are the team it wanted to feature most on Hard Knocks, the award-winning documentary series that takes fans behind this. You get the point. This is Ken Rogers, NFL Films. Ken Rogers, NFL Films Vice President, Senior Coordinating Producer. We got the team we wanted. Our number one pick, the Browns, to be on our show. We think it's the right time with the right team. He added, what we generally think of when we select a team is, who would the national audience be interested in finding out what's going on? What's going on with the team? And nationally now, the Browns are a big story. Rightfully so. So what you're telling me here is that the Browns are so bad, that they're so terrible, that the football world is now focusing on Cleveland because they're going to bring in the extra viewers. They're going to bring in so many people because we all want to watch this train wreck. We want to watch this. I want to see how quarterbacks with possibly some potential in life, I want to see how the process begins to their descent into darkness. I want to see how the factory actually destroys careers. I'm going to watch. I think he's onto something here. I'm going to tune into this, and I'm going to watch Hard Knocks with the Cleveland Browns, the team that I hate almost as much as the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to watch this just to see how an NFL career dies. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch this. They're absolutely right. They have focus tested this thing, and they got it. I don't know, though. I don't know if this is the most interesting story other than the fact that sometimes you just can't look away from the train wreck. I'm not I'm not sold on this. I really am. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we've got some train wrecks in the past. I've watched this thing over the years, some train wrecks, just to see how deep they go into it. I go back to the Dolphins. They released Chad Johnson on Hard Knocks. Like, whoa, they're not playing around here. Now, I think what's interesting for NFL fans is, can this team come back from 0-16? Can they come back? Can they come back, or is this going to be just where Baker Mayfield's career goes to die? That's it. There's your two storylines right there. Can the Browns come back from an 0-16 season, or will Baker Mayfield, his career, before your eyes on the Hard Knocks cameras, die? What leads to the most deaths of quarterbacks career-wise in the NFL? Find out on Hard Knocks. That's what I'm tuning in for. No wonder nobody wants to do this show. They had to draft them in here because they're running out of teams. They don't want to do this thing. It was cool back in the day, but now it's like, we've seen this. We're not sure if we want to let you in behind the curtain on this. So, and you know, football coaches are the funniest human beings on earth when it comes to secrecy. I think the FBI, the CIA, the Security Bureau of America, whatever your organization is, if you want to bring that paranoia and that security, that all-encompassing arms around your organization to make sure nothing gets out. Or if it does, that it's very minimal. You hire an NFL coach as a consultant. That's all you have to do. So they had to draft the Browns in here. And unfortunately for the Browns, the pickings weren't that good. Chargers, Ravens, Redskins, Broncos, and 49ers. So where's the story here? Where do you go? Do I care about Joe Flacco? No. Ravens are out. Okay. Do I care about Jimmy Garoppolo? No. 49ers are out. Redskins? You guys going to change your name? Nope. Okay, you guys are out. Broncos. Nothing exciting there. Chargers. You guys, nobody likes you. Nobody likes you in your old town anymore because you left, and no one likes you in your new town because they don't like you. Out. It's the Browns. Because I will say this, Browns fans, you are a passionate bunch. Give you credit for that. Respect that completely. You can never criticize a Cleveland Browns fan for being a bandwagon fan. You cannot. I don't think you're born into that. If you're born into that, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. If you are born into that fandom, I am sorry, and we need to get you help. But if you're not born, if you selectively join that, if you get into that fandom, there's a problem. We need to talk. We need to get you some help. I'm a Bengals fan. I think I was born into it. I really was. I was born into it. I can't go anywhere. Yeah, I was born into it. There's some hope for me, though. They get to the playoffs now and then. Now and then. I'm actually excited for the Bengals. Yeah, I know. I say that every year. I'm excited for the Bengals. But I just couldn't imagine being a Browns fan. I couldn't imagine just selectively choosing that as I'm going to be a Browns fan. Why? Why do you do that to yourself? Why do you volunteer to be miserable for 16 football weeks? Even longer since there's an open date. So why do you do that? Why are you volunteering to be miserable for 16 games? Don't do that to yourself. Don't. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'll have to get Woody Woodrum in here. You remember him? He used to be on the show. I'll have to get him in here. Just explain it. He was born into it. And he's going to give me the history of the Cleveland football Browns and how they used to win championships back before they played in the Super Bowl. Before there was a Super Bowl. Back in the day, championships that nobody remembers. Same thing with the Packers. Nobody remembers the Packers championships. Packers fans. The Super Bowl. That's it. That's all we care about because this is the immediate society here. And if we're truly counting of football championships, that means the Patriots aren't the greatest thing ever. With that said, have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Hope you get a chance to take advantage of the weekend. Have some fun. Don't forget the reason why we do celebrate Memorial Day. Be back here on Tuesday. We'll do it all over again. Appreciate everyone joining me today. For our producer, Gabriel Sellards, I'm your host, Paul Swann. This has been The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Back on Tuesday. Until then, don't be a Browns fan, and good night, everyone.
Huntington, W227BS Huntington, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Huntington Sports Station.